Hi Scorpio, this is your astrology forecast for May 2016, and this is first and foremost for Sun sign Scorpios, then it's for rising sign Scorpios, and finally if you have a moon in Scorpio that this is relevant for. So two of your personal planets are in retrograde at the beginning of May. Well, Mercury is in retrograde from the 28th of April through until the 22nd of May, and it's retrograde in Taurus in your 7th house. The way that's going to manifest itself in your life is that you find it difficult to make actual physical, practical plans with people, and you may get a little bit muddled in terms of getting things together to meet up with people or to plan meetings or events or something like that. That's going to feel more labored and more difficult, okay? So if you're having your annual white party in your backyard this year, you're going to find the planning a little bit more challenging than you usually would. Mars is also in retrograde. Mars is the personal planet of desire and force and what it is you're going to drive yourself to achieve. It's in retrograde from the 17th of April through until the 29th of June, and that's in Sagittarius in your 2nd house. So there's going to be a lack of drive and there's going to be a lack of energy when it comes to making money. You're going to feel very aligned with your career, but I don't think you're particularly bothered about money while this Mars is in retrograde. So you're going to be massively affected by that because it's just something that you're not interested in. So make sure you deliberately check the bank statements and that you're getting the right amount of information, because if you don't care about money and if you're just like, ugh, whatever, then that kind of sets you up for mistakes and betrayals. Betrayals in the sense of, oh, you know, George doesn't care about his money anyway, let's take some. On the 2nd and 3rd of May, Venus, the planet of love and beauty, moves into Taurus in your 7th house of relationships. At 2 degrees, it's about relationship, 1 and 2 come together. Then 3 degrees and 4 degrees, it's about expressing love, feeling certain and stable within love. Over the 2nd and 3rd of May, your focus will be strongly loving. It's a great time for you to meet a new partner, to get in touch with the energy of love and romance, to see the best in people, to look your best, and to, you know, miraculously be drawn towards that person who you're going to end up loving. So going to a meeting or something and having someone's, you know, meeting someone's eyes across the room, and that magic moment where it's like the two of us were going to be something. So it's good for you at the beginning of May, but it's good for you for the whole month of May because Venus is going to spend its time up there now in the 7th house of love and romance. So as far as you're concerned, Scorpio, out of all of the signs, you get a 10 out of 10 for romance and sex and love. And you're the one sign of the zodiac so far who is going to really thrive and benefit in that area of life. Okay? So whereas you're not that interested and bothered about money, love and romance are your priority, and that's probably why you're not so focused on money. On the 4th of May, there's a grand trine in fire, and this connects your Saturn, your rising, and your moon. And this really gives you the ability to move forward and to have a magical, passionate, fiery, enthusiastic, inspiring experience in your working life. And again, not so much about money, but about the content of my work. I actually love what I do, and if you love what you do, then money is usually a side effect of that anyway. So love is a big theme here for you, Scorpio. Love of work, love of other people. You're really alive, and this is an excellent time of year for you. On the 5th of May, the moon conjuncts your midheaven, and both of those sit on your descendant. So what you've been looking for in your working life, by taking charge of it, you can put it into practical action and end with something that you actually really love and that you're very, very interested in. Okay, so that's super positive. On the 6th of May, the next day, the moon goes into Taurus, and it creates a new moon in your 7th house. So the new moon is an area of new beginnings. It's when the moon is totally black and it pulls new energy into it. Taurus energy is the body, is physicality. It is ruled by Venus, and Venus is in that 7th house. So it's all about love, new, fresh start in love, in romance, in relationship, and it's new flowers blossoming and popping up all over the place out of the ground. Relationships are really taking off for you, whether ideally you're single and you will find someone who you love. This is like the quintessence of the spring, the birds and the bees coming together to create new life. If you're in a new relationship, you will have new hope and new insights and excitement about your relationship. Passion will come back, even if there hasn't been passion for a while. On the 7th of May, the retrograde Mercury squeezes itself in between that Sun and Moon. And this is a day that potentially has some sort of pitfall or some potential trap inherent in it. Information that you're told could turn out to be incorrect. Something that you find on your body, a blemish or something, doesn't have to be a tumor straight away. You start to think something, or you start to look at something which is incorrect. So look out for the error during the day. On the 9th of May, Jupiter goes direct. Jupiter is the lucky planet of success and good fortune. That is in Virgo in your 11th house. When it goes direct, it means that you have even more access to good luck, good fortune. Because it's in Virgo, if you take practical action to realize your hopes and dreams in work, in love, Jupiter supports you and will share its positive good luck energy with you. So you're really, Scorpio, the luckiest sign of the zodiac so far this month, and this is really your time to shine. On the 10th of May, the moon starts to trine Neptune. Neptune is in your 5th house of love and romance. The moon is in Cancer in your 9th. If you travel, if you go out somewhere you haven't been before, if you go on an adventure, on a trip, if you find yourself in some new environment, again, there's great potential for you to meet a loving, romantic partner and for that to come into your life. So the opportunities are really endless here at the beginning of May. On the 12th of May, a T-square appears, which is an area of motivation. It connects Jupiter and Neptune and then peaks with this Saturn in your 2nd. So everything is about love and hopes and dreams. Nothing is about money. And the fact that you're not interested in money, you're freeing up all of that energy to really enable you to live your life and to focus on realizing your hopes and dreams and to pour out your heart and your feelings and emotions. So the emotions, you're a water sign, you're emotional anyway. You're completely aligned with who you really are, and you have people in your life who you can experience that with. On the 13th, the moon is in Leo on the Ascendant. That's in your 10th house. This is the best day for you in terms of career. Great for you to assert yourself, to take on responsibility, to put yourself in the spotlight, and really to have a fun, exciting day. Do your presentation, go to your job interview. It's the best day for you happiness-wise and happiness when it comes to work. It's amazing this month for you. I wish I was Scorpio. On the 14th of May, the moon is now in Virgo in your 11th house of hopes and dreams, and it squares Saturn in your 2nd, and that energy is really there until the 17th. Basically, the freedom and the support that you have through your career and through all of this emotional energy moving upwards, you're able to make good decisions and realize your hopes and dreams. So one of those factors in your life is going to be ticked off. I've achieved the work dream, I've achieved the relationship dream for now. I've met the right guy or girl, I have got the promotion, I've done the presentation that I've always wanted to do. You achieve something during that 3-day period, and it's going to feel you're going to have a great sense of accomplishment, a great sense of personal pride and achievement. On the 17th of May, Mars begins to oppose the Sun. Mars, remember, is in retrograde it's weakened. Because it opposes your sun, it complicates your relationships with other people, and you may feel like you're stumbling a bit today. Because they directly come into focus, opposing each other, and the weakened Mars weakens your sun, and it's almost like I'm sputtering along a little bit. So you're in a car, you've been cruising 150 miles an hour down the highway because you're so on fire this month. This day might be a little bit of a stumbling block, same way as the mistake earlier in the month appears. So you've got these little blips appearing here and there. The moon opposes Uranus on the 18th. And someone that you've helped out, someone in your circle of friends or family who you've supported, actually gives you a good idea that you can use to implement to make your working life even better. So speak to people close to you on the 18th. On the 19th of May, the rising sign and the sun, where are those? On the 19th of May, the rising sign squares your sun and Venus. Okay, and this day, things are so good for you love-wise, work-wise, that you're going to have to juggle which one you really want to engage with, or both. You know, you have a meeting and you also do very, very well in your romantic life. It's a day of total success in both of those areas of your life. Okay? It's pretty impressive. The full moon occurs on the 21st of May. That's in Sagittarius in your first house. And this is a sense of fruition and things blossoming. And this Sagittarius energy in your first house means that you feel totally empowered, you feel free, you can pursue what it is you want to pursue. You're on an adventure, you're excited, and the path is open. You feel very much empowered and like you can move forward. So it's a day of real liberation. On the 22nd of May, Mercury stops being in retrograde and it goes direct. So your relationships get even better. Any sort of misunderstandings or these little blips that have been occurring during the retrograde period, they are gone now. They kind of leave, making things more smoothly. And by the way, you know, the retrograde affects everybody, but out of all of the signs, some people with this retrograde have really, it's like, that is the big theme of the month. It barely touches you. It really, the Mercury retrograde is nothing to you. On the 23rd, the moon conjuncts Saturn, and this is another great day of feeling or seeing or starting to perceive the way forward when it comes to your career success and when it comes to what is my path when it comes to my working life. Mars is still in retrograde in that second house, so it may be, or you may not be walking along that path just yet, but you have an idea of what it's going to look like. Okay? You have an idea of what your potential is when it comes to making money, and you can lay the groundwork and you can make plans to make that a reality. On the 24th of May, Venus goes into Gemini in your 8th house. Venus is the planet of love and beauty. The 8th house is other people, institutions. You are now very good. Something else comes into your life that blesses you. And this is a blessing to really work very well with institutions, corporations, to be able to fill in forms very well, to be able to share people's ideologies, to understand where they're coming from. It hasn't been an issue so far, but it becomes a real gift and a blessing as of the 24th onwards. On the 26th of May, a T-square appears in your chart. Saturn and the Sun oppose each other. Saturn is in your 2nd, the Sun is in your 8th, and they combine, they create this triangle with Neptune in your 5th. So, the security and the feeling of I'm on the right track with my life, I don't need to worry about money, that enables you to actually put the action in when it comes to signing leases or contracts or putting money down for new businesses. Your ability to deal with officialdom gives you a sense of freedom. So let me explain. So if I have an idea of starting a soap shop, okay, if I know the area that I'm living in, if I know the council or someone at the council and I know the rules, what's involved to actually starting a shop, and I know what forms I have to fill in, and it's all just a matter of appearing and doing it, then I'm going to feel really free and encouraged about doing that because I know it's a possibility and all I need to do is put the effort in. If if I'm English and I go to Costa Rica and I don't speak Spanish and I want to create the same soap shop, but I have no idea of what I'm doing or what the local laws are, then that's going to make me feel trapped and much more apprehensive. You're the first case. You know what you're doing. You have a knack and an ability to deal with red tape, to overcome it, and to really implement your dreams and goals when it comes to your career. And that freedom frees you up to enjoy your romantic life even more, but also the fact that you have had such joy and bliss and great things happen in your romantic life so far this month is also responsible why you have the talent to deal with the red tape. So it works both ways. One blessing in one area is making you feel even better in the other, and so forth, and everything's coming together to work in your favor. On the 28th of May, Mars goes into Scorpio. It retrogrades into Scorpio. Now, a lot of the other signs, again, you're the odd one out here, because for a lot of other people, that's very difficult. Mars in retrograde is hard enough, but going in Scorpio, Mars doesn't particularly like being in your sign, but because you are Scorpio, you can tolerate it much more. You can tolerate this lack of drive and this tendency to look within and to navigate around these dark, unexplored places because you are a Scorpio and you're used to doing that. So you start to, around the end of the month, you become reflective, you become soul-seeking, insightful, looking at the inner, and it's a good time to ask yourself questions and to ask yourself who it is you resent. So we're turning the theme now, who it is in your life that you resent and what you can do to let go of that, because you've got Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio in that first house as well. So this is a good time to clear away any of the cobwebs. It may feel a little bit different because everything up until now has been roses and skipping and puppies and love and work and just wonderful things. It gets a little bit more serious now at the end of May, but certainly you can deal with it a lot better than other people can. On the 29th of May to the 30th and 31st, there's a Grand Cross that appears in the chart. A Grand Cross is an area of motivation and friction and energy. Combines your Saturn, it's kind of squished up there, your Saturn, your rising, your Venus, your Sun, your Neptune, your Moon, and basically you're going to have a lot to choose from. You can either engage with the bureaucracy and move that along, or you can spend the day with your loved one and just have a nice, fun, chilled day. You can also just relax and pretty much do nothing, or you can work very hard at realizing your hopes and dreams when it comes to work or when it comes to romance. The choice is yours, but don't try and do everything at once during this 3-day period because you'll frazzle yourself out. You've got to do one thing at a time. So let's see, the 29th is a Sunday. So Sunday, maybe spend time with your partner, have a nice meal. Then 30th, that's the Monday. If you're like most people, you work Monday to Friday. That's a better time to focus on realizing your hopes and dreams when it comes to your career. And then the 31st, similar. I mean, you can do that. So maybe the Sunday, relax a little bit and then spend time with your loved one, with your partner. So it's all good. As far as you're concerned, May is one of the best months you're going to have in a long time. It looks really good. You do get 10 out of 10 for work and love. And you are the odd one out this month because a lot of other people are struggling. If you would like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab and order your reading there. This is a forecast for all Scorpio, so it's for everyone born in that 30-day period. Okay, so that's quite broad. Your personal reading is going to be based on your place of birth, your date of birth, and your time of birth. It makes it very specific, and I look at the sky from a specific angle from a specific place on Earth at the moment you were born. So that's going to be far more specific. So if you want to look at career or love or resentment, anything, then get in touch with me via the website. Please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I will be with you next month to give you your forecast for June. And I'm also on the YouTube channel for the daily tarot readings and for the vlogs and all the other stuff. So have a look, please subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.